Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Yajaira Garcia for those of you who are new. Before we begin this video, the background is different. I'm in my mom's car. I'm currently waiting for my brother to finish a test that he is taking. So I decided to take advantage of the time and to film this video that I've been meaning to film for the past 2 weeks. I was just kind of like really thinking thoroughly of what I really wanted to tell you guys and just get my information correct. And I also took some time to really analyze like how I got into UC Berkeley, and it took me like 2 weeks, not quite a while, 2 weeks to really understand like their process of selecting students to attend their university. So for transfers, it's based on a comprehensive review. So before we begin, a little background information. I graduated from my community college this past May in 2018. My first semester was summer 2016. I took a math course, and so I took 2 years to graduate from community college, which is kind of like the expected time. Some people take more, some people take less. It just really depends how many units you're taking. For the most part, I took between 12 to 15 units. There was one semester where I did take 17 units. That was a hassle. But other than that, that's how I managed to do it within 2 years. I was also very serious about my academics. The lowest grade I got was a D, but I retook that class. So how they select students. Like I mentioned, it's a comprehensive review, which refers to the process of evaluating transfer applications where all academic and personal attributes are considered, but more emphasis is put on academic preparedness for the major. So this is where I like really thought throughly what academic preparedness really means, and it's just how you really prepared for your major. Kind of besides your academics, like definitely academics really do count, but like what else did you do in order to be ready for your major? Political science major, and I want to go more into the legal field. I want to go to law school, and so I was part of the pre-law club at my community college, and I also was interning at a law firm, and I really gained like a lot of knowledge and a lot of skills from the two things that I participated besides my academics. Sorry. In my internship, I really learned about analyzing conflicts and issues. Also like analyzing evidence, critical thinking, and like fast critical thinking. Also a lot of reading, a lot of research, and a lot of like just looking at different documents, seeing what other court, what's it called? What's that one word? I can't think of it at the top of my head. But like what other, like how a case can help your case, kind of like the ruling. So how other court rulings can affect your case or can help you. So I learned a lot about that at my internship. And also I just had like a lot of support from the attorneys I was working with and the secretaries. They gave me a lot of information, a lot of advice and tips. And so I was able to talk about my whole experience during in my application. So in my personal insight questions, that's where I was able to mention my experience at my internship. The pre-law club, I was active. We participated in like a couple of like volunteer events. I organized a tour for some of the members to go visit the office where I was interning at. And so I feel that's how I prepared myself for my major besides my my academics. Let's see. When I first began working at the law firm, I kind of didn't know what to expect because I never worked at an office. So it was like something really new and different. Also, like I just learned a lot about like really analyzing what you read, and just kind of knowing what's the content. Also how to do research, like where to look for certain stuff, how to navigate certain like websites, or like how to navigate articles, or like like different websites where there's legal stuff. And a lot of that I was able to use it like in my academics. I took a sociology class my last semester, and like it was a lot of reading, and so I was able to like really analyze my reading, and I just kind of like knew. I felt more comfortable when I came to reading because I had those skills, and I was like learning even more skills. Um, and I know one question that the University of California system asks is how will you prepare for, like, what have you done to prepare for your upper division courses? And so that's where I was able to mention about like the reading and like the analyzing. um and so that's definitely how I feel that I got into UC Berkeley, was that I had really prepared myself for my major. My GPA wasn't the highest, it was a 3.52. So the average GPA for the fall semester of last year where people applied was 3.75. And so when I applied to the universities, I had a 3.52, so I was like really far out there. That fall semester, I did get a 4.0, so I reported that in January. And then when I got admitted in April, I had to report my grades before July 1st, and I got almost a 4.0. It was like a 3.90 something. So that also definitely like made my GPA higher. I really don't know exactly what my GPA was at the end, but once I have that, I'll let all of you know. But pretty much that's what they look at. And they also look at your, like it said, your personal attributes, I think. Yeah, personal attributes. So in the application, they ask you, like, if you worked, how many hours you worked, what did you spend your money on. They also ask, like, what other responsibilities besides yourself did you have. They ask, let's see, what else do they ask? Like any issues or conflicts or like medical issues, or just any like issues within yourself. And you definitely have a lot of space to really let them know who you are. In your personal insight questions, you have to choose 3 out of 7, and you just kind of have to really analyze the questions and see which ones you could really tell your story from just those questions. Um, there was a question at the end. It was like the last question, and I chose that one. It was, why should we consider you to attend our university? And I feel like in that question, I was really able to like tell them everything, like about like my issues and like being first generation. And so I feel like that made me like a really strong candidate, my personal insight questions and my major preparedness. So I was part of this mentorship program called Starting Point Mentorship Program, and it is a program that pairs you with a current UC Berkeley student, and they're also a transfer student. So I was paired up with a girl, and she was a political science major just like me, and she had I think she was like she was in her second semester. Yeah, second semester at Cal. And so she like gave me any insight about the application, the whole transferring process. She answered any questions I had about like housing, like the academics, like what's expected from you, how it was for her to like transition from her community college courses to her upper division courses. um, and they also held like different events where you found out like about financial aid, like what UC Berkeley is looking for in a student. There was also an event that I went up to where I got like insights on my personal insight questions. So someone reviewed the questions, and they told me like what I'm missing and like if I'm answering the question or not. So that was like very helpful, because when you're writing, you could kind of steer away from what they really want to know. So it's very helpful to get someone who has like expertise in the questions to like help you. There's also like a lot of like different like places like online where you could find help. Um, and so I feel like that really helped, that someone that knows about the questions and how to answer these questions was able to look through my rough drafts. Um, and also just like the different events that the transfer center at UC Berkeley was hosting for um, prospective students. That was really really helpful. One of my friends, he's attending Cal, so he gave me like his insight about like transferring and all that stuff. um And I also like had support from like my counselor, my transfer counselor at my community college, and just like my friends, like I would ask them, hey, can you look over my pertinent questions. I wouldn't ask them to correct my grammar because that's how I felt that's how I speak, and that's what I wanted the university to read. It was just kind of like, does this make sense? Like, is it like, if you read the question, does my response like answer the question? So that's what I had them look at. Um, let's see. And so if you were part of the program and like if you were active in the program, they like let the admission people know that you were like actively involved and really interested in um, being admitted to UC Berkeley. It wasn't recommended that you would get admission. It was just a little help. There was a couple students that I met who were part of the program and they didn't get into UC Berkeley. So like I said, it's kind of how you prepared yourself for your major. That's what they emphasize in your academics and your, what was it, personal attributes. And all that's on the website. You could definitely find like how they, um, the selection process for UC Berkeley. And I'll post the links down below for that. So that's pretty much it for this video on how I got into UC Berkeley. If any of you guys have any more questions, or if you want me to go into more details about a certain thing of the application, just let me know. Make sure to give my video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and if you found it useful, make sure to subscribe to my channel so you could stay updated on my whole transition process to Cal. And also make sure to follow me on my Instagram and Twitter. And stay tuned for more videos. Bye!